Housing prices have to come down because nobody can afford to buy anymore. I've heard this over and over from would-be home buyers the last few years. The problem is, it's not true. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why. This is the lie that's going to hurt more first-time home buyers than anything else. So if you have believed this, please listen up. My name is Michael. I own a local real estate brokerage here in the Dallas area. And if you're looking to buy or sell in the Dallas area, whether it's next week or next year, I'd love to connect. I've helped every one of these yellow dots find their little piece of Texas, and I'd love to help you too. Just call, text, or shoot me an email. All that info is in the description below. Okay, today we're looking at a chart called the payment to income ratio. This ratio represents the percentage of typical families' gross income that is spent on mortgage payments. And you may have heard at some point in your life that a quick rule of thumb is you shouldn't spend more than a third of your income on a mortgage payment. A lot of people just round this number down to 30%. So looking at the chart, this yellow line, that is first-time home buyers, and the other line is everyone else. So looking at the bottom line, over the years, the payment to income ratio has averaged out to about 18.5% of household income being spent on a mortgage payment. And as you see, it did reach its highest level ever in 2023 at 25.4%. If you look back to 2006, it reached 23.2%, and then back at the start of when it was being tracked, it was 23.5%. So here in 2023, we got 1.9% higher than the previous peak and about 6.9% higher than the average. Yet the market didn't crash. But let's take a minute to discuss the massive difference between these two lines. The yellow line, which is always significantly higher, these are the first-time homebuyers. So why do first-time homebuyers have to spend so much more of their income on a home? Here are the main reasons. The first is, the longer you own a home, the higher the chance you have of refinancing to a lower rate. If you buy a $500,000 house at a 6.5% rate, in a few years from now, you're able to refinance 2% down to a 4.5% rate, that's gonna save you about $600 every month. Just a 2% lower rate. So if you were to buy a home today and you were spending that 38% of your gross income on a mortgage payment, if you refinance to a 2% lower mortgage rate anytime in the future, that automatically moves the percentage of your income you're spending on a mortgage all the way down to just 33% of your income instead of 38%, just like that. So just to compare it on the chart, we start at 38%. If all we do is refinance, we end up somewhere down here. We're much closer to that green line now. Which brings us to our next reason. First-time homebuyers are generally very close to the beginning of their earning potential. In other words, they've got a lot of pay raises to look forward to in the future, as many of them are just getting started in their careers. And most employers give a raise on average of 3% a year, which means in that same scenario we discussed, in just 5 years, your income will have gone up about 16% from when you bought the house. So now that you're earning 16% more income and you've refinanced your mortgage rate down by 2%, now you're only spending 28% of your gross income on a mortgage. Do you understand how important this is? In this totally realistic scenario, in just 5 years, you go from spending 38% of your gross income on a mortgage, which again is an all-time high, all the way down to just 28%. And of course, this percentage will only continue to get lower and lower over time, but the clock doesn't start until you've actually purchased a home and locked in the price. This is the big takeaway. Do not miss this. The mistake many would-be home buyers are making right now is they're saying, well, I'm a first-time home buyer. I read online that I should only be spending a third of my income on a housing payment, so I'm gonna wait until rates go down so I can get to that 1/3 income payment. But when rates actually do come down, prices go up. It's as simple as that, which means rates coming down may not actually get you to a payment that's under 30% of your income. Because as we've seen the last few years, prices can go up very quickly. And if you're thinking, well, if I just wait long enough, then eventually I'll get enough raises and then it'll be more affordable. Wrong. Houses appreciate way faster than you're going to be getting raises. Here in Dallas, housing prices have appreciated over 10% on average every single year over the last decade. And many of the smaller suburbs around here have been like 14% annual appreciation. Do you see why locking in the price is so much more important than your temporary monthly payment or the percentage of your current income that is? Locking in the price is everything. The absolute best way to make 100% certain that you will get to spend less than 1/3 of your income on a housing payment is to buy literally any house you can afford today within your budget, lock in the price, and let time do its thing. You'll make more money in the future, you'll have a chance to refinance lower, but your price will be locked in. So yes, for all of you first-time home buyers, housing is less affordable than it's ever been. But looking at this line again, this point is from 2023, where mortgage rates got as high as 8%. Right now, rates are all the way back down to just 6.2%, and they're going to continue dropping for the foreseeable future. In fact, they're down to 6.2%, and the Fed hasn't even announced their first rate cut yet. We know it's coming, but it's not even been announced. So already, this 38.4% number is a thing of the past. That's going to be lower once the 2024 numbers come out. And the one phrase that always holds true forever is, it's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. You will never ever be able to time the market. But if you will literally just enter it, time becomes your ally. Your equity curve goes straight up as you get appreciation. Your mortgage rate comes down. Your income goes up, but again, your price is locked in. The biggest winners of this cycle are going to be those first-time home buyers who were willing to buy, spending 38% of their income to lock in the housing prices of today. Because a few years from now, as I've shown you, that 38% is going to be a much lower percentage of their income, and they're going to have a ton of appreciation to show for it. You have to zoom out from just what you can see today. But back to the point of this video, people still can afford to buy houses. In fact, more people are buying houses this year than they did last year. And that was before rates were dropping. And rates are going to continue dropping from here on out, bringing more and more buyers into the market. In fact, even when mortgage rates were up in the mid-sevens, 1 out of every 3 households could still afford to buy a median-priced house without even spending more than just 25% of their income. And while that is the lowest number ever, that was still 42.4 million households that could have bought a home comfortably. And for context, there are only about 704,000 active listings on the market today in the entire country. So you can't say, yeah, 42.4 million households could afford to buy a median house price today, and also say that housing prices have to come down because nobody can afford them. Do you see how those both cannot be true? You have to zoom out of the bias of your own situation and look at the bigger picture. Last year, housing was less affordable than it's ever been, and housing prices did not crash. Now, it's already getting more affordable and will continue to get even more affordable as rates drop moving forward. If prices didn't crash at 8% mortgage rates, there's no way they're going to crash at sub 6% mortgage rates. That would be a 2% less mortgage rate, just like we discussed earlier, which on a $500,000 house means your payment is now $600 a month less. How could that possibly cause a housing crash? First-time homebuyers, stop waiting. Find the house that works within your budget, no matter how small or ugly it may be. Lock in your price and let time work for you. You'll be able to use the equity of this home in a few years to trade up to a bigger and better one. You simply have to be willing to enter the market. That's it for this video. As always, if you're looking to buy or sell in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, call, text, or shoot me an email. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.